When drawing the head, we start by drawing a sphere. The width of the sphere should match the width of the face, and its height should represent the cranium from the top to the back of the skull. Next, draw a straight center line, because the head is not tilted. Then draw the brow line perpendicular to it. Both of these lines wrap around the sphere like this. Now, move down to the lower third of the sphere and draw the nose line. Then, divide the upper section into thirds and draw the hairline. Using the same measurement, draw the side planes on both the right and left. These side planes determine where the eyebrows end. If you look at the reference, you'll notice that the face is looking downward because the ear is not at the same level as the nose. Lower the brow line according to the amount of rotation, then move the nose line down by the same distance, and do the same for the hairline. The chin line starts from the middle of the side plane, and you can also see its relationship to the end of the eyebrow. Now measure the distance from the brow line to the nose line with your pencil. Transfer that measurement down along the center line to locate the chin. I'll reduce this distance slightly because the face is looking downward, so the visible height of the chin naturally becomes a little shorter due to the strong downward angle. Now, connect the chin back to the sphere to complete the head construction. Believe me, if this foundation is built correctly, it's almost impossible to end up with major mistakes after finishing your portrait. Every portrait you draw should begin with this same construction process. Now, divide the distance between the nose line and the brow line into 3 equal parts. The eyeline is placed in the upper third. Then, I'll move it upward by about 2 millimeters, because when the head looks downward, the eyes appear closer to the brow. Now draw the ear from the nose line up to the brow line inside the side plane. It's completely normal if part of the ear extends outside the side plane, because the side plane is only a construction guide. Next, establish the neck in proportion to the head. In the same way, the body and clothing should always be built in proportion to the head, so you can determine the correct width of the body. Now outline the hair from the top of the head as it flows toward the ear. Then define the inner edge using the end of the brow line, the side plane, and the ear. Finally, refine the ear to capture the likeness of the person you're drawing. At this point, the overall structure is complete. What remains are the internal details, and they'll all be placed according to the outer construction we've already built. That construction is based on the Loomis Method, which relies on proportion while still allowing for the natural differences between people's faces. Now, place 2 guide points on the nose to estimate its width in relation to the width of the face. From these points, draw 2 lines parallel to the center line up to the eye line. These lines mark where the eyes begin at the tear ducts. Draw the nose between those 2 points, starting with the right and left wings of the nostrils. Then draw the nostrils and their extensions. Now, begin shading the nose. I like using straight pencil strokes with a slight angle. Follow the reference while shading, starting from the separation between the nostril wing and the front cartilage. Then continue upward toward the eye around the tear duct. If you observe the nose, you'll notice that the shadow falls on the right side of the face, which tells us the light is coming from the opposite direction. So, I'll keep the right side of the nose darker and gradually transition to lighter values toward the left. For the mouth, divide the distance between the bottom of the nose and the chin into 2 equal parts. Then, divide the upper half in half again to find the starting point of the lips. Begin by drawing a small V shape for the center of the mouth. Now define the thickness of the upper lip. Draw the line separating the lips to establish the mouth width. Then draw the upper lip, followed by the lower lip, which is usually thicker. Block in the darkest shadow areas on the lips, and establish the value transitions without adding details yet. After that, add the lip texture and highlights. Between the nose and the lips, there's a recessed triangular area called the philtrum. Shade half of it on the side opposite the light source. Continue shading beneath the lower lip while following the reference. Since the darker shadows are on the right side of the face, keep the lighting consistent. While shading the skin, facial anatomy becomes very important around the mouth, beside the lips, and under the eyes. Now draw the eye starting from the tear duct. Then draw the lower eyelid, followed by the upper eyelid. Give both eyelids enough thickness to support the eyelashes. Then draw the upper lash line. Now begin shading around the eye. Adjust the surrounding hair in relation to the eye after drawing it. Draw the eyelashes within the thickness of the eyelids. Place the iris in the center of the eye. Shade the pupil. Then create a soft glow around the highlight. Continue shading around it while preserving the brightest highlights, and darken the outer edge of the iris to blend it naturally into the white of the eye. Draw the eyebrow in proportion to the eye. Remember that every eyebrow hair grows from its own individual follicle, not from a single point. Then refine the hair around the eye. Repeat the same steps for the second eye, and continue adding details to the hair and skin. Finally, blend everything together to make the portrait look more natural and harmonious. And that's the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. Don't forget to tell me what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye.